Doctor, you've just told me that you don't remember a number of things. Let me show you this document and ask you if this refreshes your memory. Would you like to learn when this technique is used? Come join me and I'll tell you when it's used. Hi, I'm Jerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. This type of technique is used when a witness, specifically a doctor in this case, does not remember something about an event or a conversation that may have occurred. And information may be contained in a document or in a record that might refresh the doctor's memory. So one of the ways that we use this to try and refresh the witness's memory is, first of all, we have to lock the doctor or the witness in to their own answers. Doctor, do you have a memory of speaking to my client? No, I don't. Do you remember speaking to my client and my client's husband? No, I don't. Do you remember that the following people were there present during this conversation? No, I don't. Do you remember during this conversation that the following things were said? No, I don't. So now the doctor may not remember all of these events, but the plaintiff, the person who was injured, and their family members have testified about the conversation they had with the doctor. Now, shortly after this particular hypothetical example, the doctor made some notes in his record that revealed and discussed some of the things that were contained in that conversation. So now I'm going to show the doctor the record, his own record, and say, Doctor, let me show you your own note and ask you to take a look at that. Based upon your own notes, Doctor, did you see that at this date and time you made entries in your own chart? Yes, I did. And at the time you made it, this was shortly after the conversation took place, correct? Yes. And at the time that you wrote it, Doctor, there was no issue about a possible lawsuit, correct? Correct. And at the time, a lawsuit had not been brought, right? In fact, you were treating the patient at that time, correct? And your intention was to do everything possible to try and get the patient better, correct? Yes. And as the patient's treating physician, your goal is to take down important information, correct? And you record that, correct? And you do that in an accurate manner, right? And you record information that's accurate and it's true, yes? And it's done so that you can remember events that occur later on and you can refer back to it, true? Obviously the answer has to be true. Now, what I do is I have the doctor read it in his own mind, and then I'll ask him, Doctor, does that document refresh your memory about the events that occurred? Yes or no? And in all likelihood, it will refresh the doctor's memory to some extent, and now I can go ahead and ask the doctor certain questions about the substance of what was discussed. So that's how we use a particular document to try and refresh a witness's memory, because it's often helpful if something has been recorded to now show it to the witness, ask them to read it, and then ask them questions about it. Now, there may be an instance where the witness will not remember or it will not refresh the witness's memory about the events that occurred, in which case I will then go through the document and ask specific things that may have occurred. In addition, I'll also establish that the notes that are recorded are accurate and true and made by a person with no interest in the outcome of this particular case. So why is that important? It's important because we want to show that the person who made those entries had no bias, had no interest in the outcome of this particular lawsuit. Once we do that, it becomes more credible that this document reflects exactly what occurred during this particular conversation. So why do I tell you about this? I tell you about this because chances are you have questions and concerns about your own particular matter involving a medical malpractice case here in the state of New York. Well, if your matter happened in New York and you do have questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer legal questions like yours every single day. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I'm Jerry Oginski here in New York. Thanks for watching.